Welcome to You Can Do It. Today we're working on a Homelite 3050, which I actually found this in the dump. It's a time of year where everyone starts getting their trimmers out and they don't work. They put them away and they were working and they've left them over winter and everything, get them out in spring when they need to start using them, and they don't, they get frustrated, they won't start, so they throw them away. So this was in the skip and I thought, you know what, why don't I use this as a little challenge and see if we can get it going. So I picked this up for nothing. As you can see, that's the state it was in. It was dirty and dusty, and I wasn't going to spend any time on it unless I knew I could repair it. So I'm actually having to backtrack a bit here because I've actually done some work on it. And then with what I did was in the process I found out about this engine, and this engine is used in Homelites, Ryobi, loads of Weedeaters. I mean, it's literally hundreds and hundreds of products. They've got this, I think it's a 26cc engine on it. So after working on it, I thought, well, actually, it would be quite a good thing for a video. So I've sort of put it all back together again to sort of show you how I found it. And then the video is going to be how are we going to get this thing going. I don't know anything about it. All I know it's been thrown out. So obviously it didn't work. This video is about how to start one of these things up if you can't get it going. You put it away at the end of the summer and you get it out and it won't work. And there's the same with all, it doesn't matter whether it's Homelite or anything. There's always usually the same sort of problems. So obviously I don't know whether this thing ran at all or not, so I'm gonna have to go back to basics, but this will help you, this video, to get your Homelite or whatever product it is going again. The first thing is that this has got a nice little system here where I can pull this in here and take this off. So I've got that off. We'll get on, that's another video about sorting all that out, but let's put that there. So this is basically what I've got. It would say it was all, I've only just cleaned it up because I now know that I can get this thing going, but I wasn't going to spend any time cleaning it up until I knew I can get it going. So let's have a look. It's probably better if I turn it around this way for you guys. So you've got your machine here, right? You've put it in your shed, it works, and you pull it out in on where you live 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months later, and you try and start it and it won't start. Now, if it was working before and now it won't start, then it's 99.95% chance not a mechanical problem. It's either going to be an ignition problem or it's going to be a fuel problem. Okay, so when I got this, I wanted to quickly work out whether it was a mechanical problem or ignition problem to decide whether it's even worth doing anything. So first of all, most of the problems when they've been stored over a season are your fuel system setup. So before we even get onto that, let's just make sure we've actually got a spark. Now these newer models have got plastic cowlings on them, so they're actually quite difficult unless you start taking bits off to see whether you've actually got a spark. So the first thing you need to do is just take the plug out, just check you've actually got something that's actually going to work. So we'll spin this around. So right. So look, that's a plug. See, that looks all right. Gap's fine. I mean, if people start getting your feeler gauges on the gap, I mean, it's either going to, the feeler gauge won't actually, that gap won't, unless it's actually touching the electrode. It's a very tiny gap. It should be just something like your thumbnail can get in it. Yeah, so that's going to be all right. That'll work. The thing is, if I plug that in there, try and pull it over, I'm not going to stick, it's all plastic. I need to earth it onto the engine. So I'm going to show you 3 quick ways that we can check to see whether we've got a spark here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, if we actually put a little bit of fuel in the end of there, in the cylinder, and then plug that all up, that should at least kick. I mean, it won't run properly, but at least if it just tries to kick and start, or do something, then I know that I've got a spark. Yeah, that's a really quite a brutal way to do it, because you might put too much fuel in and then you flood it and you won't get any sign of the motor as well. So the best way I've come across at the moment is you just get yourself a little bit of easy start, yeah, and just spray that down. That's enough there. Spray that in there. It stinks, that stuff. You can put that in there. You don't even need to do it tight. You know, you're trying to save time here. Put that in by hand. You don't need to bother tighten it all up and all that. Just do that tight enough. Right. You put that in there like that. Make sure your switch is on. So on. We'll set the choke to middle or run. I don't think, to be honest, it won't make a way you put that, but I'm going to put it in the middle. And let's go outside, hold the choke up and give it a pull, okay? Okay. So she's turned on there, so let's give her a little pull and see if she kicks. There you are. That's all I need to know. So I now know that that thing has got a spark and it's going to run. Now I know that the reason It's a fuel system problem here. Yeah. Okay, now what happens if you'd have put too much in there and you'd have flooded it? You still wouldn't know whether you've got a spark or not. So what you can do there is take your spark plug out, pull it a few times, make sure that it's got no sort of fuel in there and you've got a clean, dry spark plug. And I'm going to show you another way to see or not whether you've got a spark. So you can take your air filter off, however you do it. This is just a thing like that. Take that out, and then what you can do is get your easy start again. Spray that in there. Make sure it's open, make your chokes open. Spray some easy start in there. Okay. And now let's try that again. Let's see if it'll run. So this is another way. Look, so it started. So that's another way to do it, is just to spray a little bit of easy start in there, and if you get a kick on it, then you know you're going to get a spark. So I now know it's a spark. Now if you did that, and let's imagine you did that and you still didn't get it still didn't kick, well then there's a last and final way, which right now if that didn't, we sprayed it in there and you pulled it over and you can't get it to start, then you still don't know whether you've got ignition or not, then you'll have to just take this off. You take your cowling off, so one screw there, one screw there. This plastic thing here literally just comes off. Then you can undo the spark plug and rest it on the engine here, and then you can pull it and just actually physically see if you've got a spark. And if you've got a spark, then you know you've got an engine that you can get going once we sort this out. Obviously if you haven't got a spark, then you have to find out what the problem with that is. But 99.95% of the time it's either going to be a spark plug. If you haven't got a spark, once you get your spark plug in, it will run. Because remember, this was running before when you put it in the shed, and now it doesn't. So once you make sure you've got a spark, then we're going to work on this. So let's go back inside now, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this and get this thing going. So it's all looking very positive for this machine. Okay, you've put this away end of the summer. And the trouble with this modern fuel, this ethanol fuel, is an absolute nightmare for all these little engines, because it just rots all the seals and makes looking after these pieces of equipment a lot more difficult than it used to be. So what I suggest and what I do is I put a little bit of this fuel additive in there, Fuel Fit from Briggs & Stratton. I'll put a link in the description to this, but once you're going to put this away, if you put a little bit of that in your fuel, then it'll protect it over the winter season. It's like a fuel additive, and it just generally keeps the fuel fresh. Okay, and that'll stop all the seals rotting and everything, and put you in a much better position. So okay, so we now know we've got a spark. Let's get this off. Let's get the carburettor off. So take your thing. There's a little seal that's in there. I'm going to actually cut another piece off of my Enduro motorbike seal, and I'll put a new bit of that in. Now be really careful actually with the Easy Start, because that actually rots these to hell. So that's got a bit of Easy Start on it, look, and it's just falling apart. So make sure you take your filter out before you spray that Easy Start. So now with this, we've just got literally, if I show you there, we've just got two 10mm nuts. Let's just undo that. Then that cover comes off. That's off. Then we're just left with this. And then we take that off like that. And I've already done this once, which is why, but normally your throttle cable's in there, you just take that off. And now we've got a carb off, all right? As I say, this ethanol fuel just causes havoc with it, but you've got to have a gasket there. Now if you've got, it depends what sort of kit you've got to replace it, but you might get a new gasket, you might not. But let's see, so now what we can do now is take this inside. Now, to get this off, right, you've got little spigots in here, so what you have to do is undo these, loosen those two, and then undo those ones almost like halfway, and that'll give you enough space to be able to pull this out. Now that plate is actually part of the casing here, so make sure that seal, you look after that seal, because that seals your crankcase so that the engine runs properly. Once this comes off, you've actually got you've got little there, and you've got little rubbers that sit on there like that. Okay, I've already taken that off once, so now we've got this off. So what I've done with the tank is I took the tank off, I pulled all the old pipes out, and then I just ran this under hot soapy water, cleaned it all out. It's got all gunk and stuff in there, and I've cleaned all that out. I've got myself. I haven't actually got the correct size filter, so that's actually one off a chainsaw. But I've put the filter. I put a new piece of line in there. And you have to push it in so it goes sort of right up here. You put your filter on the end and then pull it back. So that filter has to be sitting in the middle here, like it is there. Make sure it's sort of sitting in the middle, and then that's. Now you got to make sure that you've got a really good. The tube that you use is exactly the right size for this, because if it's too loose here, then you'll get fuel that comes out of there. Yeah, so when you push that in, it's got to be a nice tight sealed fit. Okay, leave yourself a little bit of extra length in here, and then this one is just for the overflow. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be, so we just put that in there like that. You see, and it's a good size. You have to really push to get that in. All right, so that's the tank clean. So now what we need to do is we can take this back inside and sit down, clear a repair kit for it. Now these carbs are actually only about $20 or something, or 20 euros. Anyway, so you've got two choices. You can just buy another brand new complete carb, or put a new seal kit on it. Now, I don't know how old this is, probably, I don't know, 10 years old or something. So generally everything was made a little bit better 10 years ago. So I'm not going to put a new carb on it. I'm just going to put some new gaskets and stuff in there. So I've got those on order. So let's wait until that arrives, and then we'll carry on the video about replacing all the gaskets and stuff in there. And then we can start putting it back together again. All right, we're inside. This has arrived today. They're all the new. That's the new seal kit. But anyway, before we get to that point, this carburettor apart. What we're going to do is we'll take this one off here. Now this is the diaphragm, and normally with this crappy fuel and time, they usually end up getting really stiff. So let's just have a quick look. We'll take that one off. There we are. Looks quite clean. Look, there's the little bit that goes like that. So look, this is it. Yeah, look, that diaphragm's really stiff. Look. That's not going to work very well, is it? All right. So you need to, we can take this off as well if we want. So let's do this one, the top. Right, look, if I put my light on there, you can see there all the grit and gunk that actually the little gauze filters actually stop that going through. But that means that on this side there's been a lot of gunk and stuff. So I'll have to clean all that out. So I'm going to go and do that now with some carb cleaner and a spray. So we've got the Phillips in there. So undo that, and then keep your finger on the little float, on the little thing there. The spring will pop it out. So out comes that. If you look here, oh, let's see, that's sprung out, and there's your spring there. So don't, be careful. And then this, if you tap that, there's your little. That looks good. So just check the point of that. Yeah, that's a little rubber, but that looks okay. Okay, so now if you look through there, look, you should if you hold that up to the light, you should see some light through there, which I've done, and there is. So that's all good. So we know that's clean. So just use that, get some carb cleaner and blowing through all your little holes. But that's I've done that. That's all pretty clean now. So now let's have a look at what we get in the kit. Look what we get in the kit. All right, here we go. Bit of a Chinese puzzle. Ah, funny. Coming from China, but got it open finally. Look at that, look, we've got a nice little package in here with what looks to me to be pretty much everything. Let's open it like a crisp packet. See what we've got in here. It was quite a comprehensive kit I've got actually. So you get a little device here to check the level of your I can put a link to this actually. Hey, look, it's got my carb there, C1U. So what on these carbs here, you should have a number. I don't know whether you can read that now. Let me just get a torch. So if you have a look down there, I don't know if you can see that by the C1U. Okay, that's a nice little bit of tool. This is a new one of these. The one that I've got here is all right. So that's a spare. So a lot of these are going to be used. Okay, so this is the one we need. So let's open this up. And the way I knew that it was this one is because I'll show you in a minute. I've got it open. So look what they give us with here. Now the way I knew it was this packet, because of this one here, which is that one there, it's got a curve on the edge, and then in this packet, look, they didn't have a curve, it was square. So this is the one, but look at that, look how easy that is to move. Well, that's how it should be, compared to this thing, which is like, that's what the fuel does to it, it just trashes it. So that's a nice new one that's going to go on. Now here, look, there's two bits to this. Have a look. There. Let's split them. So look, there's two bits to that. I push that back there, look. There. So that goes on top of that. Now there's 2 or 3 different types of this. Now you want to make sure this is the one with actually a very low bump there. So make sure, yeah, the one that we're putting back in that's got a very low bump. So I'll put that there. So in this kit, I need to find this one, which is that one there. So that's there. All right, that's the old one. These two are the old ones, and that's the new one. So that goes like that, and there's a locating pin there. Perfect. Look at that, that's going to be a lot better. All right, so that's that bit. Now I've cleaned this all up anyway, so what I'll actually do, oh no, I can't put that on yet. So then these ones are the ones for the other side. This is another one of these, look. I think, is it the same or not? Yeah, it's the same. It just hasn't got the corner cut off it, but it's the same one. So that'll be good for a spare for something else. And then you've got these two now. The one that was on it was that one there. So these are just thinner. This is a little bit thicker. So we'll put this one, this is the new one. So put that back down there, put the new one. And this is a new, yeah, it feels the same. So I'll keep that as a spare. All right. And this down here obviously is if you want to put a new one of these on. But I'm fairly happy with the one that was on there because that will have all been seated to fit. So I'm going to leave that on there. In fact, I'm going to leave that whole set there. You've got a new Welsh plug if you want to take the Welsh plug out. But I'm not going to do that. Don't quite know what those two bits are. Anyway, they're all spares now. They're all brand new spares. So I'm going to put them in that little packet. In fact, I'll put them back in a little packet. This kit only cost me €8 or something like that. Are we going to change that? I don't. There we are. So that one's off there, look. Clean that off a bit. Right, let's go to my little packet. And which one is that one? It's this one here, isn't it? Let's check it's the same. Yep. I'll take that one off. Leave that down there. Right, now I just need to clean that up. I'm going to blow all that out and make sure it's all clean before I put it back. Okay, so this one here goes on top of this one here, like that, and then that sits. You put it on here. Put it on there like that. And then this one here goes on top like that. And that. There we are. Right. So she's on there. Yep. That's there. Then we need to put the bowl back on. Let me put that back on like that. Right, and then we put these bolts in here. 1, 2, keeping your finger on there. Tighten that up. Right. These don't need to be stupid tight, but just right. So if we take that off, that's fine, but then our tick over is going to be miles out. So we're going to have to change, set all this up. Now what I have done, which you don't need to do, but there's some little plastic grommets in here that to stop you adjusting more than a little bit, and I've actually taken these off because I've done a little bit of an exhaust mod on here, drilled some holes in the exhaust, so it might be tuning outside of where these limiters would have let me tune it. So what you need to do there is just get a screwdriver under there and you flick off those plastic limiters. All right, so we've got that side done. So now let's do the top side, which is literally this one, and the diaphragm sits there. Well, actually we need to put before we do anything crazy like that, let's put this bit in here. So we put this in like that, in there, and then what we've got to do is put the spring down in that hole, and that sits like that. Yep, and you see that, and then what we do is we push that in there like that. So make sure you see there, make sure the spring is under that little, put your thumb on it like that, and then put your little screw back in there and tighten this up. Right, don't do it stupid tight, but do it enough that it's not going to come loose. Alright, that should work. If you put a little bit of plastic pipe on there, you should be able to not blow through it, and then when you push that you can blow through it. Okay, I've just blown through that, put my mouth around there, blown that, and it stopped. I can't blow, and then you push that lever and it goes through. So that's good. So now let's quickly just check with this little tool we've got, and I reckon, yes, the way we use this, look, this is all, my carb is on that line, so basically with that one you just rest this along here like that. Yeah, and it just touches that little lever, so I know it's set right. So that's good. So that's working. So now we can put this on, which is, remember, you've got your diaphragm first, then this other spacer one there, and that'll fit on there like that, look. Lovely. Put that in there. Do that one up. And if you notice, you do not get the other gasket that from the carburettor to the engine in these kits, so it's just giving you the, and this one. There we are. Right, that looks like we should be good to go. So that's what we've done. We've changed all that. Change that diaphragm. So what we're going to do is put this back on the strimmer. Remember, this one is for your fuel inlet, and this one is your return for when you're priming it. That goes in. So right, let's go back to the workshop and put this on. All right, we're outside now, back outside. Let's take the carb. First of all, put the, I think it's a second from the top there. Put that in. Slide that on like that. Yeah, that's right, look. Yeah, the throttle's working. Full speed, right. Okay, put your choke to the middle. Then we can put this on. Put that on. 10mm nuts. Tighten that up. She's on. Now we just need to, I'll do that, wait till in the morning, but I'm going to cut a foam from one of my Enduro motorbike filters, old ones, that will fit in there. And then we put this back on. Tomorrow I'm going to make the new one from there, and then we can fill that with fuel and try it. Okay, morning time, I filled it up with fuel, 50-to-1 ratio. I've connected up these fuel lines. I had to put a little zip tie around there because this one was a little bit big on that spigot, and it was leaking a little bit of fuel from there. But anyway, that's all done. And I made a filter. I didn't actually use an Enduro filter of mine. What I did was I made a new one of those, and that is actually just out of one of the little pads that you clean your dishes with. I just cut a bit off of that, and that's fine. And put it in there like that, and that's a little air filter. Okay, so let's go outside now and try this. I mean, I have been, I've done a few exhaust mod here, but I've actually, you can see, well, I've drilled 2 holes in the back there just to make the exhaust a little bit free flowing. So I might need to adjust the carb a little bit. But let's get outside and see how she goes. Okay, back on the testing stump. So we'll put it at full throttle, full choke, turn her on. Remember, I got this work, put it in the dump. So first of all, prime it there. So you prime that up like that till it's full of fuel, or nearly full of fuel. Yeah, just check there's nothing spewing out at the back. That's okay. We've got that. So we'll give it a bit of throttle because we don't know where the adjustment is on the tick over because we do it. Let's just see how it goes. Oh, we've got a bit of a kick there. Let's take it to halfway. Oh, she's running up. A little bit louder because I've got the exhaust there. Look at that. Sounds lovely. There we are. Let that warm up for a minute. There's no point setting this up until it's warm. Okay, so there we've done it. We've actually taken the carb apart, we've cleaned it up, we've got the machine going that didn't start. Now we need to start that up, let it run up so it gets warm, and once it's warm we can adjust this screw here. This little one here for your tick over, just to make sure your tick over is not too fast. Then we can go out and use it. So basically we've done it. You can do it. We've gone and taken a strimmer that was basically being thrown out because it wouldn't start. We've gone and serviced it. We've put new set of carb gaskets in there, and the thing runs fine. So this is the real recycling. It's like not throwing your stuff away and fixing it. So you can do it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, send me a question in the comments. If you like the channel, subscribe. You can do it.